you're down on the ground, you need to let love come around. It's always there if you open your mind. A door will open up for a divine time. Getting to the other side of this pain. Ocean of doubt is a challenge I take. Sometimes so hard, sometimes a cinch. The principle I know is that love
I'm
can
Dr.
build
Jim
a
Turrell, and
bridge.
this
Love
is
can build,
the recap
build
of this
a
last
bridge.
Sunday's talk I gave on how to grow and improve relationships through difficult times. Now, I want to understand that this is a series of talks I'm giving because I realize that people are going through difficult times, and when you go through difficult times, it's sometimes problematical in the sense that it just seems to bring up a lot of issues in relationships. So the most important thing to remember about a relationship is that it's simply a mirror of what you believe inside of yourself. So the first concept you must grasp as quickly as possible is this universal presence of the relationship you have with God. When you have that understanding that you do have a relationship with a higher power, whether you call it God, even if you're an atheist, there is a greater order to existence than just you and just me. And we live in that order. And that order is always expressing by means of us, we say according to our philosophy, according to what we believe. That means that no matter what we're staring at, what we're thinking about, if we believe at the core of who we are, that this isn't going to work, or that I'm trying to get something from this relationship, we're not going to understand who we are in relationship to the relationship. So what we have to do is grasp that first relationship with what Ernest Holmes called universal subjectivity, which means that there's a servant inside of us called our subconscious or our subjective beingness that is serving us by creating opportunities, by creating possibilities, by creating relationships so that we can get a look at what we believe. So that means the first thing we have to recognize is this universal subjective nature of life, and that it has potential and that we are the divine medium through which it operates. What happens if you don't do that? Well, you feel this sense of alienation and being lost. Lost in causes that don't have any, get this, meaning. Because the thing that gives meaning to existence is your relationship with a higher power. When you have that relationship with a higher power, irrespective of the religion you call it, then that higher power instantly begins to move by means of your understanding of how life operates. And because of that understanding, you can begin to employ what higher powers always express, which is a greater degree of love, a greater degree of forgiveness, a greater degree of understanding. Now, I know that's a very mature thing to say, especially to people who are used to reacting to life. So Ernest Holmes said that we have to God has to leave us alone so we can discover this on our own. God cannot impose itself, nor can religion impose itself upon you. But what you have to do is to allow this spirit that is within you to begin to lend meaning to all of your relationships, and every relationship you have, irrespective of how successful or what a failure you think it is exactly the relationship you need to be in. Now, as we gather that understanding, Ernest Holmes said that the thing we must do is learn how to believe in ourselves, we must learn how to believe in spirit, and we must learn how to pray. And there is the crux upon improving relationships. I'm not praying for the relationship to succeed. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not praying for somebody's relationship to succeed. I'm praying for the relationship to let me see how I can express a greater degree of love, a greater degree of confidence. You see, because the minute confidence and love come into the picture, that's when life begins to expand and I get to extend the range of my understanding. Now, this isn't about getting rich. This isn't about solving or resolving problems, because you see, the minute you create this consciousness of love, acceptance, and forgiveness, you dissolve the issue. And the example I gave in my talk on Sunday is like the La Brea tar pits. This amazing experience in Los Angeles where these tar pits, where the skeletons of animals from the past rise up. Well, that's precisely what happens in your subjective nature from your memory. The skeletons of old relationships begin to rise up, and we begin to compare those skeletons, those problems, to the problems we currently have. And what you need to know, what I said on Sunday, is the problem is dead. Dead. Don't revive it, don't reflesh it, don't try to repurpose the problem. Simply repurpose your existence right here and right now. And that's how you improve and grow relationships, because the minute you start to apply principle to your relationships, they will begin to expand in ways you could never have imagined, and they will resolve themselves. Whatever is problematical will begin to resolve itself, because the meaning that you give to the relationship will not be, how do I get more love? How do I get more out of you? It will be, how can I give more? Not in terms of being run over like a doormat, but how can I give more, maintain my sense of who I am, and still grow? I'm telling you, it reveals itself every time. So let's go into the prayer portion of what we're talking about right now. Let's know that this presence, which we identify as the Spirit of life, the divine intelligence, the genius that created all of it, that genius is now moving by means of us. And as we unify with it, as we recognize its power, we can see it emerging within us, not as a dead idea, not as a problem, but as a potential, a possibility to express love. Guess where? Right here, right now. That's why we're here, to be in that love right here, right now. I know that truth for you. I know that you live in this moment, not for it, but in it, and you are alive in the presence of that great universal subjectivity, and the potential of life and the dynamic medium that you are begins to rise in a way where we can see that lovely truth about you, not that problem about you. That is no longer an issue in your life. What is an issue in your life is that potentiality, that possibility, and you absolutely give your attention to that, and you absolutely express your life by means of that, because you believe in it and you have faith in who you are. I give great thanks for this as I let go of the Word. The Word is made flesh. That's the reality. And so it is. Amen. Have a great day.
When you're down on the ground, you need to let love come around. It's always there if you open your mind. A door will open up for a divine time. Getting to the other side of this pain. Ocean of doubt is a challenge I take. Sometimes so hard, sometimes a cinch. The principle I know is that love can build a bridge. Love can build a bridge. Bring it all together, it will do the trick. Listen to your soul, time to let it glow. It's gonna let you know where you need to go. Always an unpredictable mix. The principle I know is love can build a bridge. Love can build a bridge. Perfect or complete spiritual fix. Love can build a bridge. Think of Jah, give thanks, and so it is.